It's cold in them dar hills here in California. Even here on the coast we have a gnarly rainstorm this week. So I think it's stew and soup time here at the Tater Cowgirl Rodeo. We are making today one. My husband said, hey, you always make stuff from your ancestry. Can you make one from my one too? And I said, sure. And that's the perfect day to make a Gaelic stew called Stobach Gaelac. Stobach Gaelac. You can read it. It's called Gaelic stew, Scottish Stout Stew. And my, it's of course we do it whole plant based, oil free and vegan. So my Irish lads and lassies who will see this recipe say, hey, that looks like Irish stew, and I agree. But the Irish added mutton, the Scottish added beef. That's how I found that Scottish recipe. And of course we do it vegan, whole plant based, and don't eat any of it. So. You both are ancestry for this recipe, Irish and Scottish, I guess. So it's Gaelic, Stobach Gaelac. And my husband is born in Texas, but his ancestry is the clan of the Monddh Caroibhe in Gaelic, Monddh Caroibhe, the Moncriefs. And here is his crest, if you can see it. The motto of the Moncriefs, the Monddh Caroibhe, is Sur Esperance. I think some of them are from the Normandy, came in from the Normandy, that's why it is French, I don't know. Sur Esperance, upon hope. And they were Highlanders in Scotland. And that's where this recipe comes from. So that's why I choose the Scottish Stout Stew. Okay, let's get started. And we need a pot. You see, we need a stew pot or a Dutch oven. Let's put that lid away for now. And we start by browning field roast. I had 2 field roast sliced. We heat the oven. 2 field roast sliced, and as always I put the recipe below so you don't have to write with me right now. You get those in. We want a little brown baked on crust in here, so don't worry when you see it. And my spoon is here. So don't move it around a lot, just let it bake on a little, that we get a little crust here. And of course we don't use oil, we cook oil free, whole plant based. This is the field roast Italian apple sage I use here. Alright. Then we have a little, about a quarter cup all-purpose MacArthur flour with a little cayenne pepper, maybe a quarter teaspoon. And let's put that one in first. A tablespoon vegan Worcestershire. Put a tablespoon in right now, just to give it a little liquid. And let it brown on the bottom here, and then we put our flour with it and just dust it a little. Okay, we put a little broth in it. I have here 4 cups of broth. From those 4 cups of broth I take my broth for the sauteing. As you know, we water saute. I always use broth for sauteing. Just get that a little. And we put 1.5 white onions. We can put that one in too. They take a little longer than the other stuff. And they give a little liquid too. See, you see that? The brown stuff already goes off a little. Put a little bit more vegan broth in it. I use, I heat my water and then I use, either one of those are good, seasoned vegetable broth, better than bouillon, or I use the no chicken broth, better than bouillon. I like both. Okay, so let that go a little soft here. Yeah, I thought that might be a good idea to do a Scottish Irish Gaelic recipe. Why not? I put a tablespoon garlic with it. So it's usually 4 cloves. I forgot to buy my garlic, so sorry. Put a tablespoon garlic with it. I will write both of them in the recipe. So how is the weather in your area? My Australian fans, they probably have a different weather, but here in the US everything is snowed in. Even in California the Sierras are thick under snow. We had 29 inches snowfall in 24 hours in Squaw Valley. That's a lot. That's about 3 hours, driving hours from here, from the Gilroy. And here it was raining, storming all night, all week actually. And I heard from my German peeps, they are snowed in too. In Munich and in the Allgäu, the very southern part of Germany where I come from, they have tons of snow. So that's the time to go skiing. And I have a long weekend, Monday off, Martin Luther King Day. So, but I'm also having some chores I have to do, so I'm not sure if I get to go skiing. Probably not. Too much of preparation. I have to look after my garden. The storm really devastated some of my plants and I have to look for that. Okay, the onions look pretty soft. And what we do now is we deglaze. Oops. With, I wanted Scottish Stout, but I couldn't find it. The Scottish Stout is called, if you can find it, hold on, I have it on my, I got it from the recipe, but I could not find that Scottish Stout. It's called, I wrote the name down. Yeah. Belhaven Scottish Stout. That would be the one from the original recipe. I have Guinness Stout, Irish Stout. Do not use American. They say it's sweet. Some of them have even milk in there, so be really careful. Look what's in it. The Irish and the Scottish Stout are drier, so that's the one you should use for this recipe. So we deglaze with, and that's about 14 ounce of stout. We deglaze. Oh man, that smells. I couldn't find a bottle. It's a Bavarian. I don't like cans, beer in a can. But I couldn't find a bottle. This is from Whole Foods. Guinness Drought Stout. Guinness Drought Stout. Smells good. Okay. So we let this boil, come to a boil. And then we will have more vegetables to put in, and I show you what. This is 2 carrots, 2 large carrots and 1 parsnip. And my German friends, this is a parsnip. It's not a radish, so it's a root vegetable. And I have about 2 stalks of celery. And we will put that in as soon as this is boiling. We can put our rosemary in. This is a 1/4 teaspoon rosemary. And a 1/4 teaspoon thyme. Oh, smells good. Then we do about a 1/4 teaspoon black pepper, fresh ground, always the best, and a teaspoon salt. I wonder if I should, you know what, I go easy on the salt. I put 1/2 in, but we can always add more in the end. I'm always careful with salt, and I'm on a very low salt level actually, so let's do it that way. Okay. Let this boil, come to a boil, that it's deglazing. We want all these little juices from the sausage in there. Oh, if you have smell-o-vision, oh, it already smells good, I have to say. Already smells good. Okay. The other stuff we need is, I have crimini mushrooms in thicker slices. That's two boxes. Throw it already. If you have whole criminis, about 15 to 20 smaller mushrooms cut in slices. Then we have either take Dutch baby potatoes. These are golden potatoes. I cut them in quarters. Don't want them too big, because then later we will put parsley in, but not right now. Then we have a can of tomato paste. This is, how much ounces? 700 grams. 6 ounce tomato paste. We put that one in. A little broth in here to get everything out, all the liquid out, all the tomatoes. Not wasting anything, at least not in my house. Okay, let's get up to a boil. Celery in. Put the carrots and the parsnips in. And we let that boil for about 5 minutes before we put the mushrooms and the potatoes in. Let that soften a little bit. In the meantime, it's really that stout that makes that awesome sauce. I cut 12, so that's about 10 I put in. I don't think I need them all. It will go down a little bit, of course, because the vegetables will soften and cook down. But I think I keep those. So about 10 baby potatoes. Mushrooms in, that they cook down a little. I wash them and I slice them. They can be thick sliced. You want, that's our beef substitute basically, together with the field roast. So you don't want them too thin. Let's put a little bit pepper on top. A little bit more Worcestershire. Sprinkles and a little bit more garlic. Let's say a quarter teaspoon. Okay, and then you pour the rest of the broth on it. So that everything is nice and coated. We mix it a little with the spoon. Oh, look at the colors, you know, it's all so nice. Look at these colors of this stew. Later on, if it's too liquid, we can make a slurry with arrowroot powder or potato starch. But we'll see how it goes. I don't like it too thick. I like it with a little gravy in it, you know. So we will see how it goes. The last thing we need to add is a bay leaf. I add it last because I don't want it broken. I want to take it out before before it's done. So this has to come to a boil and then has to slow cook, simmer about 15 to 20 minutes. The main thing is that the potatoes are soft, so that's what you're looking for. I will get back to you as soon as it's soft, okay? Don't go away. Hello, we are back. So our Scottish Stout Stew is done. I show you how it looks like. You can see it from there, so we turn it off. For me, basically, it would be good enough like that. But if you want it thicker, use a tablespoon of arrowroot powder and swirl it with a fork in cold water. And then put it in, and it will thicken to your liking. You know, you can do this again. I like my stew a little gravyish, you know, that you have gravy for the potatoes. The potatoes alone make it really nice. And oh, it smells. If you could smell it, if you would have smell-o-vision, you would get really hungry. So the last step is my parsley, and I put some garden lovage in it. If you don't have garden lovage, it's also called Monddh herb. You just take a little drizzle of Monddh. It grows like weed in the garden, that stuff. Yeah. And we put it onto the a lot of parsley, like a 1/4 cup, and a little garden lovage chopped. Put that in here. Gives it a nice green look. Alright. Now I serve it for you. The best you can serve it is with crusty bread, fresh crusty bread. And I have ancient grain crackers, whole grain crackers, that's good too. And I'll show you how when I have guests, I serve it like that. Okay, try to get from all the colors something out. The parsnips, the carrots, the potatoes, the onions. You know. Oh, that stout makes the soup. The stout makes the gravy here. Mushrooms, of course. Okay. Mushroom here and a little carrot. And what I do with the thing, I break them and put them on top as a little special thing. Like the Gaelic say, dinne'ar reidh. Dinne'ar reidh. I have it here. Dinner is ready. Let me show you how it's written. It's spelled dinne'ar reidh. Here it is. My Scottish Stout Stew, my Gaelic stew. And hope you had fun, and see you next Sunday again to the Tater Cowgirl Rodeo. Peace out.